Well, let's give one more example because this ties into one of your favorite wrestlers ever, I think I could say. Here is from Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. I think it may be the debut of Lord Alfred Hayes with his new heel Charge. Let's go to this.
Alfred Hayes, and Lord, I understand you have an announcement you'd like to make to the wrestling fans.
Yes, let me preface this by saying that sometimes in various sports, somebody comes along who shines. A star, you might say, an example to all others, somebody who stands head and shoulders above everybody else in his particular profession.
I know this.
A person who has a regal, a noble bearing that places them, you could say, upon a throne. In the world of professional wrestling, we have such a man of noble and regal bearing, a royal personage, in fact. I would say he is a king. King James the First of wrestling. King James Valiant. This man is indeed a royal personage who is able to beat easily anybody who comes before his throne.
Your Lordship, thank you for this fine compliment and everything you have said. And I know the only reason you did say all this is because it's the gospel. Long live the king.
Oh, James, you will live a long reign because I don't see anybody capable of even approaching you. And as is the case in such circumstances, I always involve myself with somebody who is destined for greatness.
Well, there it is, Lord Alfred Hayes with King James Valiant.
That was legendary for how bad it didn't work. And no, here's the thing. That was 1980. Was it? Oh, God damn.
It was 81 or 82.
It was later in 81. And here's what happened. Couple of things. Jimmy Valiant, handsome Jimmy Valiant, when he came into Memphis in 77, it was Handsome Jimmy and Luscious Johnny, the Valiant brothers, right? So Memphis knew him as Handsome Jimmy Valiant. And he quickly got over as the top heel, and then they switched him babyface. And then he started that run where he could go back and forth because he was just over. And whatever he did, he could get heat, but still a lot of the guys liked him, and then he could switch babyface again and get him right back, right? It was just, he was a personality. And also at the same time, Lawler was doing the King thing, and when you know, Lawler and Valiant were working a program against each other, Valiant would steal the crown, and then he took pictures with the crown, and especially while Lawler was out, he got the crown from Ellering when Lawler's leg was broken. So there were those pictures floating around. And I guess who would have been, it was still George Scott, wasn't it, booking at that point in time?
Oh, I don't know, actually. It may have been.
I think it was. In 1981, I'm pretty sure it was, because they didn't move to, George Scott left in 82, right, went to work for Vince.
He didn't go, I don't think he went that early to Vince. Remember, he also...
Or maybe 83, because he had gone down to McGurk.
And killed the territory.
And killed the territory there. But nevertheless, the point is, handsome Jimmy Valiant, the boy from New York City, with his own music, Son of a Gypsy, the Raven babyface, the wild, messy, crazy guy, in Memphis was a top guy, was drawing a ton of money. And we've talked about when he went to Charlotte, he made that move when Jarrett and Lawler had bought him a house in Memphis. And he turned the keys back in it and made the move because he was promised a top spot in Charlotte. And to be a main event babyface or heel in Charlotte, you were guaranteed to make more money than they could pay you in Memphis. So he was trying to trade up. But when he got there, they weren't plugged into what had gotten him over and tried to go off the pictures of him wearing Lawler's crown and make him King James. And you heard him talking so somberly. It didn't work. It flopped like crazy. And how long did that last? It was only a few months, right?
It didn't last long, and it's one of those famous things. Hulk Hogan came in as a heel to the AWA with Johnny Valiant, and before you knew it, he was Hulk Hogan. Jimmy Valiant comes in as King James with Lord Alfred Hayes. Before you know it, he's the Boogie Woogie Man.
Exactly. He's the beard is back fucking wild and crazy, and he's doing the dance and clapping the hands and whoo mercy. And instead of the handsome Jimmy, the boy from New York City, he's Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. And that's what got over in Charlotte. And he was one of the singular most popular guys on the card until pretty much almost the sale to TBS, all the way through 88, off of being the Boogie Woogie Man. But King James laid a fucking turd in a punch bowl.
Well, Jim, maybe we'll have a little bit more classic audio, we'll see. But before we go too much further, if only there was a network that had a lot of this stuff that was only available overseas that we had to use a link to get access to see this amazing hidden footage.
Hitting footage?
This
hitting footage. The footage of people hitting other people.
This amazing hidden footage.
Just give it up. If there was just a way that we could see all the shit that we want to see without telling people what we were seeing, that sums things up. Folks, you're just, if you go online without a VPN, then it's just like you're standing stark naked in the middle of your living room window with Aunt Fanny and Uncle Felcher across the street staring at your little ding-a-ling. That's what you're doing. They might as well call the cops on you for exposing yourself to the world if you don't have our friends at ExpressVPN keeping you covered. Because the internet service providers can see every single website you visit. And as a result of that, they can sell that information potentially to the highest bidder. I'm pretty sure that this evidence is admissible in court. So just think of how much your wife would pay for information like this. And they will use this data to target you. You're going to have a big sniper rifle scope right between your eyes and the ISPs. Boom goes the dynamite. Your life is over. They have consigned you to Devil's Island somewhere because they have exposed you to the world as being a person that goes to the nether reaches of the internet. That's for most of you.
No, not exactly how it works for any of you.
People are going to their nethers and they're reaching them. But ExpressVPN can cover you up because I'll tell you what, they can cover all the goods and services that you've got because they will make people think that you are somewhere far the fuck away from where you're at. And then you can just do anything with impunity. You can go where you want to go, do what you want to do. You can move other people's money around the goddamn world.
No. You
can hack various.
Just stop whatever you're thinking. Stop. Just stop.
Well, just the smaller country.
Think about whatever it is that makes you happy. Dead babies or whatever it is that makes you happy. Think about that right now. And let's talk about ExpressVPN being used for fine legal reasons, like accessing fine programs from the UK.
If you can use ExpressVPN to hack into the defense systems of some smaller countries around the world, it's their fault.
No,
and they shouldn't hold it against you.
It is certainly nothing that Jim is encouraging, and we don't encourage it. We encourage you to leave small countries alone. Isn't that right, Jim?
Yes. Leave those poor little countries alone, you big bullies. We encourage you to have courage, though, when you use ExpressVPN because they can't see your online activity then. Your identity is anonymized by a secure VPN server. This VPN server, he's a secure son of a gun. He's comfortable in his own skin. He comes out, he's got a towel over his arm, he's wearing a black tuxedo, and he says, "Hi, I'll be your VPN server." And he's a secure son, and he's going to protect you, and he's going to encrypt your data. And just make sure that you zip your pants up afterwards.
There's no actual physical server that's a human being. There's a physical server. It's just a real server. It's not a human being serving you cocktails or whatever it is you're fantasizing about over there.
Well,
Snappy Pappy.
We had a server the other night when we had dinner, but it's easy to use ExpressVPN. You fire up the app, and once you be careful, wear gloves because it will get hot when you set fire to it. But after you fire up the app, you click one button and then bing, 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 bing. In front of your eyes, things start changing. Neon signs start going on and off, flashing lights. There will be some helicopters. And pretty soon you're all covered up. And you can access programs from around the world like the WWE network that they've still got over in the other countries that they like better than us. We got to watch the cock. And actually, you can get into some cock also with the ExpressVPN because, well, they've got different peacocks for different parts of the world, right? So you can you can adjust your cock however you see fit for what you'd like to see on it.
I don't know. From Bangor to Bangkok, you can use ExpressVPN to access all sorts of stuff.
You can spend more than one night in Bangkok now because they won't know where you are. So again, don't let the ISPs win and don't stand in front of your picture window with Willie hanging out for the world to see. Use ExpressVPN and secure your online activities. Go right now, expressvpn.com/JCE. Right now, expressvpn.com/JCE. You're going to get an extra 3 months free of this protection we're talking about. And as a matter of fact, Stacy got us the year's subscription to ExpressVPN, renewed it, actually, I should say, the other day, and changed her location. Fuck, it's never been quieter around here. I haven't seen her in 4 or 5 days.
What?
She changed her location.
Where is she, Jim?
I don't know.
Jim?
That's the point.
Where is she, Jim?
ExpressVPN.
Where is she?
.com/JCE. If you want to change your location, they'll not be able to figure out where you are no matter what they do.
I don't know who they are, but again, if you want to access fine programming that may not be available here in the States, like, for instance, the Great Sewing Bee out of England, ExpressVPN is the place you should go, or the people you should see. Check them out. Jim, what's the promo code?
I said it before, /JCE for an extra 3 months free of protection. You will not get pregnant. You'll be fully protected from your online activities. You know, online insemination is a trend that's sweeping the country now, if you don't use protection.
Well, your data will be protected, and there'll be no pregnancy in your data being sold. Whatever we're saying, ExpressVPN.